Welcome as we continue to explore the subject of chakras on the path of the seeker. We're going to cover one of the most powerful chakras today. This chakra is the home of your personal willpower. This chakra is a two-sided sword and is also the gateway into the more spiritual and abstract upper centers. Failure to develop this center will prevent a person from reaching the more spiritual levels of the psyche. This, of course, is the solar plexus chakra. This chakra is located just below the ribcage and above the navel. When this chakra is blocked, it can cause a person to be weak-willed and have low self-esteem. The person with a blocked solar plexus chakra will feel as though they are at the mercy of outer forces. If, however, someone has a strong open solar plexus chakra and they use it for their personal benefit only, they will become a toxic, egoic monster focused on manifesting physical results. In Edgar Cayce on the Revelation, this chakra is described as the seat of the devil because the defining trait of the allegorical devil is using willpower for selfish purposes. Not many travel past the gateway of the solar plexus, and it's almost impossible to do so subconsciously. Many who reach this point and develop the center might be tempted to stop once they start seeing real-world results, but I will cover that later in this video. To begin working on this very important chakra, let's talk about what you should have in your sacred space to support this work. First, this chakra is represented by the color yellow, which I don't have much of in my home, so I collected some yellow roses from my yard. My favorite stones to use with this chakra might not look like stones to you. Instead, I have my copper bracelet that I always wear, and a trilobite fossil. Copper has conductive qualities, and trilobites have a filtering quality. According to Essential Minerals, Crystals, and Gems, copper, when exposed to the elements and due to its thermal and electrical conductive qualities, increases your ability to tap into the cosmos to garner wisdom, knowledge, and surprising information that can be applied to your spiritual practice. Trilobites are marine fossils that flourished 526 million years ago and have been extinct for 250 million years. They are great companions for working with this chakra. Their filtering system can keep unwelcome energies from interfering with the process. This chakra element is fire, so you'll want to light a candle in your sacred space while working on the center, even if it's unscented. Lemongrass, which is known for relieving headaches and stomach aches, is my favorite for this chakra. Clary sage is another great scent to use with this chakra as it lightens the mood, clears negative energy, and provides clarity. This chakra governs your pancreas. The pancreas secretes enzymes and digestive juice into the digestive system, which is also governed by this chakra. Insulin is also secreted by the pancreas, and when the levels of insulin secretion become unbalanced, it leads to diabetes. A person's will to live can be linked to their diet. Diet is a very important part of keeping this chakra balanced and healthy. Choosing to eat healthy, well-balanced meals is very important when working on this chakra because it will help you maintain the high energy levels that this chakra requires. Ulcers, heartburn, obesity, cancer, and indigestion are all signs of a blocked solar plexus chakra. When our solar plexus chakra is operating to full capacity, our body has the energy it needs to fuel the fires of our digestive tract to enable our bodies to stay in balance. Blocks in the chakra are developed in the preteen years from 8 to 12 years old. This is when children have a good handle on how the world works and starts to assert their individuality. Our personality, our opinions, desires, and needs that set us apart from others is developed at this level. We begin to realize what makes us different from those around us. Willpower. Are we passive, feeling as though we exist in a world of chaos where we are at the mercy of outside forces beyond our influence? Do we feel as though we can forge the life that we want? Willpower is the essence of action, and it's a life-sustaining drive that comes naturally, propelling us forward to create new experiences. Manifestation. Often this is a misunderstood concept where people focus only on material results. However, those focused on the material world are unlikely to receive consistent results. Here we learn the first of the two key aspects to manifestation. The first lesson we must learn is that we have to let go of the idea that we are victims of outside forces. As long as we believe we are powerless victims, we will continue to be victims because our every deed and action creates the world we expect to experience. We are so powerful we create our reality without realizing it all of the time. Emotional development, intuition. It is at this level that we are capable of developing what I call our emotional barometer. When we no longer reject or repress our emotions, thanks to doing our work on the sacral chakra level, we are capable of learning to discern their meaning. Fear, less intense now that it's recognized, alerts us to people in our lives or situations that do not mean us well. Sadness teaches us that we are connected far more deeply to others than we realize. Anger teaches boundaries and lets us know when those boundaries have been violated. I will leave a link to a blog I wrote detailing how emotions are the key to the treasure box of intuition in the description box below. As always, I will attach a temple sounds video below, and you should note in your journal any emotions or physical sensations you experience during the sound meditation, because it will give you clues as to how the energy of the center is flowing. I highly recommend that as you work with this chakra, you start keeping track of your emotions on a daily basis in a journal. Write down the emotion you experienced, either pleasant or unpleasant, the event prior to experiencing the emotion, explore how you feel now that you experienced the emotion, then go back later and write down how you could have changed that outcome to what you prefer. You will start to recognize emotional patterns. When I'm sad, for example, maybe I always eat a cookie. Yet, because I'm a little overweight, whenever I eat that cookie, it makes me feel guilty. Now, once I know this pattern exists, I can consciously change it. Instead of going for that cookie, I can get out the current piece of artwork I'm working on and complete part of it to receive the same amount of pleasure. Maybe I choose to dust the living room instead, and I feel good having spent that energy on a positive achievement. I may slip up a few times and eat the cookie anyways, but it is no longer a subconscious urge. Now that I consciously know this is my habitual response to feeling sad, I can apply willpower to change it. Another great exercise is to write letters to the people that are involved with situations that have hurt you in life, especially if you felt powerless. Tell them in those letters all the things you wish you had told them, all the feelings you have tried to hide. It doesn't matter if it's guilt, sadness, anger, or that you didn't get to tell someone how much you loved them before they died. When you are ready, rip them up or burn them. This is symbolic of releasing the emotions surrounding the people or events that have left behind emotional scars. This will bring you closure. By releasing these emotions, you are declaring that you will no longer be controlled by them or the people or the events in which they were involved. Realize that no one can take your personal power away from you, but that you can and probably have at some point given it away. You can always reclaim that personal power. You might not feel released from the emotions or the memory of those events automatically, but when those old familiar emotions come back, you can remind yourself that you have released them. They no longer apply in your day-to-day life. They are part of your past, the old you, and you're in the process of creating the new you that you've always wanted to become. Next, you can write a description of the person you want to be in the life you want. Don't focus just on career or personal objects that you desire. Don't worry about how it will happen. Just imagine what you want and write it down. Write down how it feels to be that person. Just by writing down what you want to become, you will start naturally moving in the direction of becoming that person and attaining that life. You might realize somewhere along the way that you don't really want to be that person, and that's okay. Go ahead and revise what you previously wrote as many times as you need throughout your life. This chakra ties in with the love and belonging level of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Here you discover your place in the universe. You know that you're here to experience, learn from others, and your emotions. As this is an inward path, this is all about you, and you realize that you belong here on earth at this time because you have chosen the gift of willpower, and you are learning how to apply it properly. In John Van Auken's Edgar Casey on the Revelations, this chakra is symbolized by the lion. And while it is very volatile, it is also very hopeful. This center is also the place of anger, impulsive reactions, and spirit-killing urges. The spirit identified its weaknesses and vices as eating things sacrificed to idols and committing acts of immorality. The spirit said that uncontrolled, this center throws stumbling blocks in the way of our spiritual efforts. It must stop. If it does, then the spirit promised that it would eat the hidden manna and receive a new name. The manna referred to this center's desires for physical gratifications, often symbolized as bread. As Jesus so wonderfully put it, we do not live by bread alone, but every word that comes out of the mouth of God. These words from God's mouth, Casey said, are the hidden manna. Casey said that my name in verse 13 referred to our eternal name that uniquely identifies each of us from among the rest of creation. Somehow, deep within us, we have not fully denied this aspect of ourselves. We have not killed the witness to our spiritual nature. In Joseph Campbell's hero's journey, this is also the level of temptation and the initiation phase. At this point, we can taste victory. We own our willpower as the machine that drives our ability to manifest the reality we want on a conscious level. As we reprogram our reactions to situations to become the person we want to be instead of the victim circumstances have shaped us into, we develop confidence in our abilities and start to build self-esteem. However, we cannot be tempted to skip over the next few steps and go straight to the treasure of manifestation. This leads to the magical flight where, though we might experience a measure of success, we will be pursued by unresolved aspects of ourselves, our inner demons, and potentially lose everything we achieved. Once we start to see results, it's easy to start focusing on the material world again and forget about the spiritual process we started. Trust me, I've been there and this does happen. However, once we step onto the path of the seeker, a higher power will ensure that we continue, even if it means that we have the rug pulled out from under us and experience a huge catastrophic wake-up call to return to the path. The solar plexus chakra is the potent chakra where we discover our own personal power. We claim our power by shaking loose of the idea that we are victims of outside forces or that someone can teach us confidence or give us self-esteem. By accepting that we are king or queen of our own reality, with even the most minor of deeds and actions being of importance, we start to own our personal power. No one can take that power away from us once we are consciously aware of it. Not even the most dire dictator can break our spirit when we truly know our own spiritual inheritance. By bringing our emotions and our behavioral patterns into conscious awareness, we can create the reality we choose by claiming our personal power. All it takes is the slightest conscious shift in perception. We cannot be tempted to stop at this spiritual center because there are even better rewards to come.
Lost anger burns, 'cause I learned to wash away.